Hello, everyone. Well, how are you doing with your resolutions so far? We're into 24. We're well into 24. And all those intentions and resolutions, how are they doing? Are you manifesting them in your life? Well, I'm sure that all of you are laughing with me that we don't do that anymore, because what's the point? You know, we just don't set ourselves as kind of impossible goals. But there's one goal that I have really decided I'm going to keep through the whole year, and I've actually managed to maintain it, and I'm planning to maintain it for the next 12 or 11 months for sure. Now, it was inspired by Leslie Moon, who's one of our amazing bloggers. We have people that write for us who I just love them to bits. They're so cool. And Leslie wrote this article on one resolution I plan to cultivate in 24, and I agree with her 1,000,000%. You know, it's this cultivating a mindset of joyful curiosity. Now, I always have described myself as being a curious person. I'm constantly asking questions and digging deep and, you know, and going at different things from different angles and exploring. I'm an explorer. I definitely love that. And I think curiosity is one of the things. Actually, we had one card in our deck of cards, our 16Me cards, that was about curiosity. And I loved it so much. I read it all the time. It's that idea that, you know, you just want to know more. You want to learn every day. You want to discover and investigate and understand. So that word in itself is really powerful. But when you add the word joyful to it, it gives you a little bit of work to do there. Because, you know, not every day you wake up shining and, oh, I'm happy and everything's fine. You know, I'm feeling positive, feeling hopeful. It doesn't work like that. You know, some days you wake up and you have a headache, or you don't feel good, or you are dealing with something. You know, there's so many different things that can, you know, get us into a twist, you know, with our emotions. But to be able to be joyfully curious every single day, I think keeps you going. I think it keeps us motivated. And I know, you know, I'm 75 now, and I know that there's like all kinds of challenges that we face as we get into our late 60s and 70s. Most of you, or many of you, have been with me since, you know, we started in when I was 64, and that was 11 years ago. And we've all, you know, grown and connected, and it's been remarkable, you know, how the progress that we've made. But have we maintained these kinds of intentions throughout the whole time? I think joyful curiosity has always been a thing for me. So what is it? Okay, it's a blend of eagerness to learn and a positive outlook. It's like willingness to step outside your comfort zone a little bit and discover some new things, and not be tied down to your you know, your expectations of what you know you always have done, the way you've always done things, the way that you've always seen the world. And the thing about joyful curiosity is that you're always you know, uncovering something that could be uncomfortable and could be challenging. It's about shattering stereotypes. I am all for shattering aging stereotypes. You know, all about that you can't do this. You know, you're too old for technology, or you're too old to this, or too old to travel, or too old to start a new business. You know, these are the stereotypes that we face, that we're not beautiful anymore, that we're, you know, that we're dealing with changing skin and our wrinkles, and we don't look good anymore. Brands don't care. You know, there's all these things that you can go that are on the negative side, but in a way, by being joyfully curious and like just trying to say, how am I going to get around that? How am I going to, you know, learn more about this and bring it into my life, make it part of my everyday world? You know, it's part of, that's what it's all about. And being joyful is like, thank you so much to whoever, for this opportunity to live one more day, to have one more new necklace. I got this necklace. Oh, I want to show you something actually, because this is actually this t-shirt that I'm wearing. I never buy t-shirts that have got words on them. I mean, I just don't. I don't know why. It's just like, you know, people that have these t-shirts that have like whole scripts on them. But I did buy this one, and I don't know if you can see this, but it says on it, it says, "Be real, not perfect." And I really like that, and I wore that, and I made this little necklace yesterday at a little craft show, a little bead show that I went to. It was really fun. We got to sit down with thousands of beads, and I got to make a little necklace. But it went with the colors on this little shirt. I liked it. But anyway, not that I'll ever wear it in public. I'm looking at it thinking, I don't know. But anywho, the reason that I bought this is that being real, you know, is being the thing that's like going to guide us here. Be real, not perfect. And that's, I think, the driver of a joyful curiosity. That whatever we find, that whatever we uncover, it's going to be okay. It's going to be constructive. It's going to be an addition to our wisdom, to our learning, to who we are as older women. This is what we do, right? So if you're joyfully curious all the time, it doesn't matter whether it works out for you or not. It's now become part of your life. It's relevant at any age, and I think we actually have had several women in their 40s and 50s send me messages saying how much they value 60andMe, because I think they just realize you've got to start thinking about it early, otherwise it's not going to make much sense. But there's a couple of benefits that come from having this joyful curiosity that are kind of just unrelated to having fun. And one of them is that you stretch your brain. We all know that our exercise that we do with our bodies is super important. Walking, exercising, jumping around, belly dancing, whatever you do, that's super, super important. But mental exercise is also really important. And when you pick up a book, or you go online to watch a TED Talk, or you read some article or read some text that stimulates your thinking about joyful curiosity, your brain is being stretched as well. And that's really, really good for your mental health. And also, if you've got stuff on your mind, if you've got dealing with estrangement or divorce or loss, just keeping your mind constantly alert and thinking about what's new out there, what can be discovered, what can be brought into your world that's going to make you feel different and happier and more enriched by some new piece of information. It's like, it's that continuous learning and exploration. Another thing is about paying attention to the small things. Now, we live in a world where maybe you don't go to much travel, you don't get out of your house, you don't get out of your neighborhood very much. But even the simple things with this joyful curiosity, you can actually go into the street, you can take a different pathway or a different walk if you're driving, drive a different way, and you can see things for the first time, and you can see them with new eyes. And pay attention to people. I think that we all, people watching is kind of one of my favorite things, and not in a negative way. It's just, I just really like watching interactions with people, especially with children. I really enjoy that. And giving compliments to people. Remember we talked about that before. It's that whole engagement with the world by seeing things and looking at them and thinking about them, and not just that was whatever. Just doing some assessment. Like with my grandkids, we ever go out on a bus, and I'll say, let's think of writing a story about some people. Like, and we look at the people on the bus and say, what do you think that person does? Where are they going? And maybe they're going to see their grandchildren, or and you just like. It just creates scenarios that are interesting and dynamic. It's really, really fun. So staying open and curious, on my notes here, fostering a curious mind. So I think getting back to how do we establish a curious mind? Well, we just put ourselves in situations where we have to learn. We go to a country and we have to learn a new language, or we decide to just learn a new language because it's fun. We go to workshops or community events that are maybe something we're familiar with, or maybe it's something totally new. Like we have a little theater down the street. It's always in German, which is hard for me, but they have English sometimes. And also, but music is no language, right? So like someone's playing a violin or a bass or some instrument that I'm not that familiar with. It's kind of fun to go watch, how a perfect performer, not perfect, but an accomplished performer does it. And getting out into go to art shows, see new artists, how they're seeing the world. Go to a theater production. Go to any kind of online virtual tour where you're actually, for the first time, seeing something and looking at it with new eyes. Really, really cool. So my personal stories are simply that I try to incorporate curiosity into my life every single way that I can. I try to turn off my computer now and eat my food more thoughtfully. I'm really enjoying our Patreon supporters group, because we have live meetings twice a week. And every now and again, we talk about books, and some people have given some really, really good ideas for books to read. And it's not a resolution, but it's an intention to start to read a bit more this year. I read lots for 60andMe, but there's options for other things too I'm missing. Just a second, I'm gonna drink my coffee here. So be joyful in all areas of your life. Be grateful, and share with us kind of what you do to bring joyful curiosity into your life. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Have a fabulous day. Stay curious, stay joyful, and go out in the world and shine with your beautiful self, who you are. You know who you are. Shine in the world. Take good care, everybody. Sending you lots of love.